He had his hands around her throat before he even realized what he was doing. The girl clawed at his grip, her eyes begged, her body trembled. Victor Von Doom felt nothing. She had only tried to run from him on campus, that was all, just run. And something inside Victor had snapped like a cable under too much weight. Now she was fading, her struggling was getting weaker, and somewhere deep in the back of his skull, a single thought clawed its way to the surface. What kind of man am I? Am I some kind of demon? For the first time in his life, Victor Von Doom looked at himself and was afraid of what he saw. Then a memory hit him like a lightning bolt through the chest. His mother, her face, that last night in Latveria. His hands loosened. The girl dropped, gasping. She scrambled up and vanished into the darkness before he could say a word. Victor stood alone in the night, soaked in cold sweat, realizing just how close he had come to crossing a line he could never uncross. He expected the police. He expected scandal. Neither came. The girl, Sandy Bidwell, was never seen at the school again. Victor assumed shame had kept her silent. He was wrong. The truth was far darker. Sandy had gone to the authorities. She had filed charges. She had done everything right. But Victor had powerful military connections. Strings were pulled in back rooms, files were buried, officials were persuaded. Then, one morning, Sandy's parents were seen outside their house, climbing into a brand new Rolls-Royce. The message could not have been clearer if it had been written in blood. Justice was never coming. Victor walked away untouched. On campus, students began to whisper. People crossed the street when they saw him. Fear spread through the halls like smoke under a door. Victor barely noticed. He had already gone back to his work. The incident only pushed him deeper into obsession. He told himself emotions were weakness. That moment of hesitation, the one that had saved Sandy's life, would never happen again. Because Victor Von Doom had a secret that no one knew. He had built a machine that could break reality itself. Not a weapon, not a power source, a door into another dimension, the Nether Realm, the place where his mother's soul was trapped. The military thought he was building them a time machine. He had even proven it worked, sent a chimpanzee 1 week forward in time, watched it return safely. The general observing had been left completely speechless. Victor had simply smiled and said the final test would be ready soon. It was all cover. One afternoon, a student named Reed Richards stumbled upon Victor's real equations. Reed was brilliant, and he saw immediately that something was wrong, a critical miscalculation buried deep inside the math. He tried to warn Victor. Victor's pride did not allow it. "Get out of my room." Reed left. The rivalry between them ignited like a match dropped into gasoline. Victor activated the machine alone. Energy filled the lab. Reality tore open. For one brief, impossible moment, his consciousness crossed over, and he saw her, his mother, Cynthia Von Doom, chained in a burning wasteland, surrounded by hellfire. He ran toward her, screaming, "I came to save you!" She turned to him in pure terror. "You must not be here. You must flee." A demon appeared from the flames. It mocked him, called him weak, called him a fool. Then the machine exploded. When Victor woke up in the military hospital, his entire face was wrapped in bandages. He had been expelled. He had nearly killed another student. He had disgraced the university. The dean came personally to deliver the news. Victor stopped listening halfway through. General Masterson arrived with an offer. The military still wanted him. Resources, funding, a second chance. His genius was too valuable to discard. Victor stopped listening again. He reached up slowly and began unwrapping the bandages himself. The pain was almost unbearable. He found a mirror and looked. The damage was severe. But worse than the scars were what lived behind his eyes, the memory of his mother screaming in the dark, and the sound of a demon laughing in the ruins of everything he had ever built. He set the mirror face down on the table. I was a fool, a bumbling fool. And right there he swore he would never look at his own face again. Days later, Victor quietly built a small device in his hospital room. A bomb. Not to kill anyone, to escape, to make a point, because he had finally understood something he should have seen years ago. The Americans' praise had inflated his ego. Their technology had made him dependent. He had spent years building things for other men's purposes, their military, their experiments, their glory. That was the real mistake. Not the equations, not the machine. The weakness was letting others define him. He triggered the explosion. Flames erupted through the facility. Soldiers sprinted toward the smoke and chaos. And in that chaos, Victor Von Doom walked out. He disappeared beyond the reach of governments, universities, and every institution that had ever tried to own him. The world had just lost Victor Von Doom. It was about to meet someone far more terrifying, Dr. Doom. If you want to see what happens next in Dr. Doom's journey, hit the like button and subscribe right now. And tell me in the comments, is Dr. Doom a villain or a tragic genius?